So let's talk about the two Daria movies and how freaking good they were. Like, honestly, they didn't need to be as good as they were, and they did really well for the structure of the show. And this is before the time where studios were putting up the big money behind these animated TV movies, like the Simpsons movie, or Bob's Burgers, or the Family Guy movie. Those were actual full-length feature films that were in theaters and people watch them. No. The people at Daria had their TV show budget, so it was basically a long episode. But these two films worked within that framework and did something really well, which was they did a good job bridging the gap between where we wouldn't have seen Daria. So Is It Fall Yet takes place between the 4th season and the final 5th season, and it shows what happened during that summer break when Daria and Jane were not friends because Jane was dating Tom, and then they broke up, and then Tom was dating Daria, and it got messy. So Daria and Mr. DiMartino were camp counselors and Mr. O'Neill's feelings day camp, aka was an awful time for Daria. Meanwhile, Jane went to an arts enclave where she thought she was having a good time with a friend, even though the guy who runs it was a jerk, but really the friend was really trying to hit on her. And also had this really good subplot of Quinn trying to better herself because she saw she got the same grades as her friends and said, no, I can do better than them. And so we got this arc where Quinn was actively working on herself. And overall, the movie did a whole lot for providing character growth for these characters. Now, Is It College Yet had a different task. This served as the finale of the show. So they really had to wrap up and sum up a lot of different storylines. They did an exceptionally good job of showing Jodie and her plight to go to a different school than what her parents wanted her to. It wasn't some whiny, I want to go to the school that I want to. Instead, she said, no, I have legitimate concerns about my mental health and me not just being the token kid and actually fitting in and getting more from a learning institution than just the name that's on there and the prestige that comes with it. I also like how in a very subtle way, they talked about Quinn gaining maturity and dealing with a very grown-up situation about her friend having a substance abuse problem. And this person that we had seen for most of the series to be so vapid and shallow, she showed some depth, she showed some empathy. She was really trying to help and figure out what do you do in this complex situation. And of course, they did a great job of wrapping up with Daria and figuring out what she's going to do when she gets to college and how she's going to go about it and what she's going to do, what's Jane going to do. And I absolutely love that at the end credits, they kind of showed a thing of what might happen to these people in the future. So I thought that was a very satisfying way to wrap everything up. Now, I watched this on Amazon, but I do kind of have Paramount Plus on Amazon, so I'm not sure if it comes free with Amazon or if you just get it free watching Paramount Plus. But I didn't have to pay for the individual episodes. I did have to pay, I'll say $3 or something like that to watch the movies. But I thought it was super worth it. So if you've seen the Daria movies, I want to know your thoughts. What did you think about them?